Hello, welcome back to hopefully a stream that lasts longer than yesterday's. Oh boy. So we had massive technical issues yesterday that basically resulted in me just giving up, and I spent nearly 7 hours figuring out what went wrong with my PC. Wow. I don't know if people are even interested, but essentially I had quite a few issues with the video game crashing, and I was trying to figure out what exactly caused the issue, and essentially I ended up doing 3 things. Well, first of all, Windows decided to update yesterday whilst my computer was off. It turned itself on, partially installed an update, and then it like didn't have permissions or whatever and broke. So it uninstalled part of the CFD, if I remember correctly, when I was looking at this, which is like your boot sequence setup, basically, without getting too nerdy into it. And effectively, that's why the update was canceling itself every time I tried to do an update.
Good number, right?
Hey, Lennon, how we doing? So that's the first problem. Then there was significant issues with a driver, for a graphics driver, which I didn't update, but apparently had updated at some point. So I had to roll back drivers, so I had to go into safe mode. But obviously to go into safe mode, I needed a CFD that was going to work, because it was just spamming me with a black screen. So then I had to sort the Windows situation out first, which means a manual installation of a specific version of Windows 11, which had to reinstall itself. It's a long, complicated story, and then once that was finally there, I then was able to update it to whatever the security version was that Windows had put out. Then I had to do another 3 restarts. Then I was able to start it into safe mode properly, which is why it wasn't able to before, because the CFD was broken, and then effectively roll back the drivers and then start it back into non-safe mode. And then I was still having issues, but then I realized because Windows had messed around with the update, it had effectively messed up the way that my CPU was behaving. So if you don't know anything about the i9-14900K, essentially it's a very incredibly unstable chip, and it's one of my biggest regrets. It's very powerful, but if you use it at its default, it will crash pretty much everything that you put in front of it. So then I had to then re-download Intel Extreme tuning utility, which had been updated yet again. And then I had to offset that, so put new offsets in. Then I had to lower the performance ratio down to 55 from 57, because 57 and 56 to X were too unstable. Then I had to make sure that everything was talking to itself. And then 7 hours later, it was finally working, and I went to bed. Quite angry. And then today we've left the PC on, and I've left 14 on, and I've done some test crafting, and I've jumped around. I've ran some more extraneous games such as Star Citizen at the same time as Final Fantasy XIV. I've messed around with various different things, and it has not crashed once. So effectively, that's the TLDR. Even though it sounds like a lot, that's the TLDR of 6 to 7 hours of troubleshooting, to the point where we can now finally play the game on this PC and stream it. So there we go. Excellent. Now, of course, a lot of people probably would have given up at the first sign of things and just gone computer repair shop. I don't have the luxury of that, or the affordability of such things, or the time or effort. So I'd much rather figure it out myself, and I'm glad that I figured it out, and now we are seemingly fine. It has been running okay so far, so we are good to go to finish off our final tool on cosmic exploration today. That's the goal of this stream. Get that done and talk to you lot, basically. But yes, holy moly. It is very difficult to explain how much I detest Microsoft's implementation of security updates, and how they mess with everything on the computer that has no reason to be messed with, and how if you turn off automatic updates, it still automatically updates something after X amount of time, even if your computer is turned off, which is absolutely ridiculous. I have no idea why it's doing it, and it will likely happen again. for which I have saved in a notepad document the step-by-step process of how I fixed it this time. In the future, I plan to rip out the i9 14900K, throw it in the bin, and I'm going to get myself a Radeon CPU instead. Go with a probably 9800 X3D, which is what everyone else is using because it's the best one at the moment. The 14900K. Intel has very much just screwed itself, and Windows is not very happy with it. They don't play nice together. So here we are. Meoni, wait till you do the gathering tools, yuck. I've done all of the tools aside from one tool. This is the last tool, as is the title of the stream today. We are going to be doing our goldsmithing. I have done all of the gathering and crafting aside from goldsmithing. So it's just from stage 3 onwards, and then we're done. And then we can be happy and farm points, which is effectively what we're going to do. Lenin, thank you for the 29 months, though. I do appreciate that. Sorry, I was in the middle of my bit of a ramble, my bit of a rant, and you could understand the confusion and the irritation that I've been experiencing. But yes. How we doing, Kage? Hey, Royal Blood. Hey, Patrick. Hey, Exilis. Hey, Wimrold. How we doing? How's things? And Motley, yes. The joys of owning a PC, yes. You see, on the flip side, it'd be amazing to be just a console gamer, right? But we'd also miss out on like 90% of everything else that I enjoy about gaming. So, unfortunately, that is not something like I could consider. Did it drive you nuts, the collect reduce ones? No, I actually quite enjoyed those. Those were the easy ones. It was the timed gather X amount during the time period. I think it was like one of the A2 versions that was just like bizarre to me. How I was supposed to run between two areas equidistant across a crater in that sort of time. It's very difficult. How we doing, Gigablazer? How's things? Right, so let's get cracking. We have a lot to do today. I was hoping that I could have got it done yesterday, but that is the way, unfortunately. So we've got one more bit of goldsmithing too to get, so we can just do any old C rank mission. We're going to make some macros using Raphael, as is usually the case. And then the beauty of this is when we finish the tool, I get to delete all of my macros and start again, which is going to be quite fun. It sounds like a painful thing to do, but it's actually not. It's quite nice, the idea that I get to wipe the slate clean and have some working macros for everything rather than individual macros for different level brackets. Now, bear in mind, I had to level everything to 100 as well, and we are not done. So, Standard Alloy Ink Goldsmithing Variety version. We're on level 92. Yeah, 3996, 3881, 595 looks about accurate. And that looks good. We can make that macro, which will last 2 levels at most. Cool. And then we copy pasta that one. Like that. And then we do the survey goggles. But yeah, how is everyone today? I hope you're all enjoying your Monday. I certainly am now that I've figured out what was going wrong with my PC. But you know what? We could put GOG on there. Might as well put GOG. And Alloy. Yeah, that's fine. Cool. Kavish. Got some Kavish on the go. And we should be good. Right, let's bash this out. It should take me 3 hours or so from stage 3. Maybe 4 hours. We'll see. We need new cordials. 400 doesn't cut it. Yeah, we talked about this before in a previous stream, how nice it would be if there was some kind of buff that you could gain, with at least within the proximity of the moon or something, that you could unlock, like a structure or something, sort of a la building a satellite dish or something, or some kind of broadcast tower or something to enhance the regen capabilities, some kind of in-game lore sort of way of them explaining a buff for the moon specifically, because the GP restoration is absolutely abysmal. I think that's what it comes down to. It's the regen more than it is the actual high cordials. The high cordials are fine. It's the regen, because of how much we end up stopping and starting and stopping and starting. You know, if you could regen something as quickly as you could a crafter when you finish gathering for a mission, and then it gave you like a regen buff afterwards, that would be lovely. The way that a lot of people have been dealing with it is even point farming would be to find something else to do whilst you're waiting. Either switch to a crafter, do some crafts, wait for your GP to return, or to play other games, which is quite entertaining. You doing good? Woke up to your pleasant surprise of star contributor on your server. Wow. What server are you playing on? How populated is it? If you don't mind me asking, how many hours a day do you play Final Fantasy IV? None. Final Fantasy... I know that was a typo. I was being a knob. Final Fantasy 14. Not many, honestly. It depends. If there's something that I'm going crazy on, like with Shapes Triangle or something, we could have, I don't know, 8+ hours. But about 5 hours or so. Something small like that. Nothing too crazy. Because the majority of the time is editing, well, recording, editing, and then making thumbnails, uploading, all that crap. Like the video side is awesome, but the editing side still kind of drags a bit. But yes, I do spend a little bit of time on the game, but not as much as I would like. Right, so we might be able to reuse some of these missions. We need to... Oh no, we're still on 2s. Well, let's unlock the B rank. Oh, we have the B rank ones. Never mind. Okay, so we need to do B rank stuff now. And that needs 2s and 1s still. Okay, so one of these is going to be a 3 rank at some point. Maybe we do this one. The material part processing. Okay, so this is B rank. BR D6480DU25 plates. Doesn't matter. It's just the number. And then this one. Copy paste. Is basically the same. Crank, and that's going to be a 3150, because we can reuse some of the others for the same mission, and that's the durability 18. Okay, so now we need a mission for the plating. I mean macro for the plating, not mission. We almost forgot. A sweet bunny friend from my server gave me Claire Obscure 33 for a late birthday present. I nearly cried. Oh, that's cool. Have you been enjoying it? I hear it's quite a good game. I haven't played it yet. Yeah, PC supposedly fixed. We'll see. We shall see. Right, so it's two for 1 there, so it's a 2-for-1 ratio. You're having some luck with crafting way on making macros. Nice. I just use this one, the Raphael Final Fantasy 14 one. I have noticed they've started to put like advertisements on it, which is, yeah. See how far that goes. I just like some kind of, ooh, that broke. Why did you break? Why did you break? Oh, because we leveled up. See, this is the problem. Means we need to redo the crank as well, but there we go. It came tonight. I am 63 now. Oh, right, cool. I don't know what that means. Is there a leveling system or something? I deliberately haven't looked at it so that it's a bit of a surprise when I do get around to it. Hopefully. Macros aren't too hard to make. It's just more frustrating when you have to make something for every single level. So I just use a calculator, and at that point you might as well just make all of them the same way. You can use their in-game calculation system, which is fine, but why bother? Like, the amount of macros that I've had to make for this content, if I had to do that manually, it would have driven me even more insane, probably. That would be my recommendation, would be to not waste your time as much as you physically can. All right. 2 of those. So we need to remake the crank because it's going to be wrong, unfortunately. Yeah, that's going to be better. I'm looking forward to deleting all of these and starting again and having A rank, B rank, C rank. I don't think there's any point in going below that, but just having like 3 tiers of the same macros for everything, that's going to be lovely. But we do not have that luxury yet. This is the second page of macros as well. Now that I've had some time to simmer, I feel like the A3s should have been harder to craft. I mean, they will just naturally get easier over time anyway, right? You kind of wish all of the later crafts were impossible to macro. Everything has always been possible to macro. Now, the fail state percentage was a lot higher for the Firmament of Ishgard, like the expert, some of the expert crafts. You had like a 50-50 chance with a couple of the macros at the time, if I remember correctly. Whereas now it's less problematic. There's less RNG or more ways of getting around it, seemingly. In comparison, at least. Habitation vanities. What have we got? 24, 30, 70. Yeah, none of those are going to work. That one might work, actually. Okay. We need B R D 2430 DU 70 mirror. It probably would have worked, but meh. You wish it was cheaper to get the crafter gear ready for the grind? Yeah, honestly, setting aside some gil or making it yourself would have been, is obviously the better option, I think, but it's just probably not that worth it. Some things have come down in price significantly. Some things have not, though. The Otter Fountain in Island Sanctuary was pretty hard to craft. That's true. That is true. There are some odd recipes that still exist that are, or were, tricky. But, yeah, maybe, you know, it's the first part, right? There's 4 different planetoids. We've got the moon, we've got 3 other places over the course of the next 3 patches, 3 major or minor patches, rather. I'm sure the difficulty will increase in certain places, and the difficulty will decrease for the earlier stages. That's what I'm guessing, anyway. You got your first cosmic tool done last night? Woo, nice. Nice one, Lumi. Kind of wish I didn't max out my crafter and gatherers within the first month of Dawn Trail. I disagree with you because it's been very stressful leveling here. If I had leveled outside of this content, I probably would have had a much better time. It's the remaking of macros because of how the stellar missions level up. It can break after one level up. It's been quite slow to level through, realistically. But it's fine. It's fine. It's just, you know, I should have probably done the same thing. I should have leveled up earlier. There was just no reason for me to be bothered with Tulialal's like market district thing, like the crafting and gathering stuff. I'm just not interested. I also think it's a mistake that 7.25 is when we get the Mamuljar, because the Mamuljar tribe should have been earlier in the expansion. It makes no sense for it to be after this content comes out, because you'll already have leveled everything up by then, and it just doesn't make any sense. But there we go. That's typically the way things go at Square Enix's planning. And then you just sat there going, think of all the EXP I could have earned that I'm no longer earning. You did a ton of leaves to max them out? Yeah, I haven't even touched a single leave. We did all of the crafters and gatherers in here, and it's taken me, what, since Cosmic came out, I guess, to level them up, which is pretty slow. You still believe Cosmic should have been sometime during patch 7.1? I agree, because it feels like in a week's time we're going to be ditching this. Anybody who wants to do the new stuff, combat related stuff, is going to ditch this. And for a server like Ragnarok, where we have a lower population these days, it's not going to get done in like months. So yeah, compared to North America, which will probably be done by the time it comes out, right? Ooh, Mech Hangar Gamma and Cosmoport beta preparations. Didn't even know that was a thing. You know, we're struggling in comparison. Hey Naz, how we doing, Naz? How's things? Are you still on Tornado Watch, or has that passed? Are you free from the danger? Hopefully you're free from the danger. Telescope, so it's 238560. And we do not have a 60 durability craft. All right. Telescope. This unlocks the A ranks though by doing this, so that's good. That's one we need to do, and then we can spam the same one over and over again and level up. We got Gamma on Midgard Soma last week. I'm curious to see what's next. There's supposed to be 16 phases, I think. 16 in total. And Cactuar is the furthest, isn't it, at the moment? I think they're on 14. So they'll be done this week, I'm guessing. Don't know. I'd be surprised if they weren't done. I need an emote like this. What, with machine guns? What is that? What is that? Oh, pew pew. I think there is an emote that I haven't uploaded that has a gun, but I was worried about connotations of having such a thing. 5 of 8 for the next stage. Nice. How we doing, Cat? How's things? Saw Fran was enjoying your Baldur's Gate streams whilst I was angry at my PC, trying to figure it out. Was not a fun night last night, let's put it that way. Oh, I need 5 missions. Oops, I'm an idiot. that one would work. I think. Yeah, that one would work. Cool. At least they reused those two or something. All sorted out. Yeah, I mean, it took 7 hours, six to 7 hours of troubleshooting and reinstalling things and messing around, but it's been okay so far. Okay, so that works for the bars. That's good. When does Make It Rain start? It's not today. It is on the 19th. Wait. Huh? It should be on then. Oh crap, have I missed? Oh, yeah. Oh, I missed Make It Rain. I was so busy trying to figure this out. Yeah, Make It Rain started today. Yeah, I forgot about that. Oops. It's fine. We'll go do that. I don't think this one will work for that. Oh well, it's fine. We'll go do it. Yeah, I'm usually pretty good at remembering things. I was so angry at my PC that I must have blanked it out. It's fine. We'll complete this tool and then I'll go do it. Oops. I think that's the first time in a long time that I've not gone and done it like early morning or something. Yeah, my Monday has been pointless, honestly. It's been a horrible... Oh, yeah, that wasn't going to work. Okay. Okay, which one was that? It was this one, okay. And then I need to make another second part, okay. Time to start tracking MGP challenges again. You see, my problem is that I don't really have... There's like nothing to spend it on. They haven't added anything. Hey Sabine, thank you. Hopefully we should be able to bash this out within 4 hours or so. I think. Yeah, it's because it's the wrong macro. Boom, 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 boom. I'm trying to reuse macros as much as possible, but it's not going to work that way. Uh, 2495 DU80. Ooh, no. Needle. It's just the second part. Okay, it's the normal one, isn't it? The 9495, yeah. This is obviously an A rank version of the same needle. Ba ba bum ba da ba bum bum. Almost wish I was in that situation. Sadly, I still have a 4 million MGP mount left at least. I think it's just because of how long I've been doing it. Fashion Report really kind of closes the gap on any necessity for it, I guess. It adds up really quickly. Wait, that is still... Oh, because it's thinking that I don't have the quality that the other macro provided. That's why. That's fine. Still works, who cares? Whatever, still made it. Just be slightly over the quality requirements. Level 94. And we need one more mission, which is the weaving tools, which we don't have the stats for. Thank you, game, for reminding me. So, oh, it's this one. We don't have one of these, I don't think. I remember this. This is the 528 80 durability. I remember this. I did make one of these a long time ago, but it's dead as a dodo. It is the collectible one as well. Or at least the collectible icon. How are we doing, Themo? How's things? Are we nearly finished with your achievements? Because you were going ham, right? How close are you now? A good thing. It's a good thing there's nothing to spend MGP on, otherwise I'd still be winning Triple Triad tournament every other week and preventing other people from getting their cards. I like it. I like it. I think it's a terrible thing that there's nothing to spend MGP on. Or nothing new to spend MGP on. I think that it needs to be updated regularly, as regularly as any other part of the game. I think it's a missed opportunity to add new stuff. The reason it's doing that is because that's a level 93 macro. That's going to break anyway soon. That melon emote that Ellie made. Cool. Okay, there's the A ranks unlocked. We can't do them, so let's just spam this stuff. Habitation vanities is what? The mirror? Yeah. Cool. It should only take, what? An hour to level up? Something like that? Meoni, yeah, that's right. Gotta get those melons in, you know? There's a couple of people on the moon today, not many though. This is instance 1 as well. You got fishing done Saturday morning? Oh wow. What, 500k on Fisher? Wow, that's crazy. That is actually crazy. You picked up fishing, it's fun? Nice. Glad you're enjoying it. Yeah, I've tried to spread the word, Themo, of how fun fishing is, and I've won at least one person over so far. Everyone else I talk to is like, I hate it. Wasn't planning on doing the crafters before 7.3, yet here I am spamming missions. Nice. Bet that's a good feeling to get one of them down. Kinda don't like how fishing requires you to keep a reference sheet open on the side. I mean, if you're doing the same mission over and over again, then you already kind of learn what you need. I mean, your optimal points are going to be from spamming the same mission, aren't they? Whether that be sequential or various A missions. I get what you mean, like for leveling and stuff, I guess. No, actually, to be fair, I didn't bother using it for leveling. Excuse you? Let me jump back on my platform. What the heck? This is like one of those 60 frames per second things. There we go. That's better. Got to stand on the wall. It's part of it now. And that's unlocked level 3s, and level 3s have appeared on here. That's good. So the mirror is one of them. The mirror. The mirror of time. You'll still do it, but I don't like it. That's fair enough. I think I glanced at that spreadsheet just for whatever one I was on at the time, and that was it. And then I just spammed the same A rank to finish off the tool. Just kept abandoning and starting again because I don't really care about lunar credits as much. To be fair, Cosmo credits are more interesting to me. You know, direct purchase items that you can sell. Speaking of which, we should probably use our lunar credits up because I'm getting closer to a cap at least. Just got to get 6 more levels and then we're able to grind out the last few bits. So was the last part that's easiest. Like if you were level 100, this would be incredibly quick. Like we're talking 2 hours quick for a tool. Because if it takes me 4 hours and I have to level, which means I slow down, I have to remake macros, I have to, you know, wait before I can do the A rank missions. If I was level 100 with the 150%, it'd take me like 2 hours. Easily, it'd cut it in half. So I guess that serves me right for not leveling them, really, doesn't it? It's my fault. You hope they add more items to those credits? It's very likely, in my opinion, since there are 2 kiosks, that they move the Laporet over and have a vendor here. Not that you can see it from this distance, but that's where the Cosmo Fortune thing is. You'll probably move over to this kiosk and then there'll be a new Laporet. And that's probably how you get your direct purchase dyes in the future. They'll probably use the blue credits. Like in Island Sanctuary. Like in Ishgard, where you can get like pearl white and stuff from the vendor. As opposed to having to spin. That's my guess anyway. Guessing each planet will have its own credits and rewards. Yes. Yes, in theory that should be the case, yeah. Everything that says lunar on it, in theory, should be specific to this place. Which means new rewards, new achievements, new progress points. The 150% bonus does not count because it says novice level data, and this is novice level. All of these, even level 9. And then past level 9 is no longer novice, so this won't work, for example. Stuff like that. Yep, it all gets recycled. And we start again. They'll probably find a way of fast tracking it as well a little bit. Maybe EXP bonuses will go up for the novice levels to catch people up. I wouldn't be surprised if they made it easier. Obviously preparing all of the difficulty for the next world. You got your first 500k on a crafter today. Wow. You guys are steaming ahead. That's awesome. Which crafter did you go for first? I'm curious. What was your poison of choice? Armorer. Oh yeah, you said you liked the clinky clank of groundwork. I remember. The only thing you're banking on is that the overflow relic score carries over. You mean the percentage, it doesn't know. Because this is level 9 is novice. Anything above level 9 isn't novice anymore. If that's what you're talking about, I'm not sure. Oh, the actual maximum score? Yeah, I mean, it's intended that the 500k mount is supposed to be done over the course of 4 planets. It's not... You're not going to get another mount and another 500k points to earn in the next world. If that happens, I will eat my mobile phone's tombstone cover case for a video. They will not do that. Oh, the red and yellow numbers. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, that's going to stay there, right? Yeah. But it'll be like probably a requirement of like 10,000 per one or something stupid. You'll still keep your 3,000 out of, but the out of will probably be a bit bigger, I'm guessing. I think that's what you mean, yeah. Bum, 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 bum. Nearly level 95. Don't think there's much point in me getting gold rating on all of these repeatedly, but we'll stop skipping at silver as soon as this is filled, I guess. Actually, let's do that. Just so that we can get the EXP. It's level 95. This will likely break, I think. I think this will... This should break, I think, because of the level difference. It is watching your games. How you doing? How's things? I hope you're well. Hope everyone's well this Monday. I hope Monday is keeping you well. Again, apologies about yesterday. I was trying my hardest to stream, but the game kept crashing, and then Windows decided to have a moment. And I spent the next 6 to 7 hours fixing it, so it was not like I could avoid it, I'm afraid. Because it was working the last time I was on the PC, and then suddenly it wasn't, so... Yeah... No cat, no. No cat. Soon. But not today. I want to get these tools out of the way. Now it has a delicate synthesis part on this as well. Oh, damn. Oh, I already had it on V. Oh well. Someone showed you something that ruined Cat Girls for me on 14. Okay. Why? I'll bite. Why? They have horse ears? The people who say that are probably correct. But, I mean, anime has done cat ears like this as long as I can remember, so... Meh. Doesn't spoil it for me. Not that I would care. Crank time. That's the mission. Finish off leveling. Get this tool done at all costs. Yeah, the ears are cute. I'm like, what? I'd rather look like this on my character than an Ellison or something like that. Like every time. There's not even a comparison. Not even a comparison. Do 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 do. It's so rare to see a Rothgar, isn't it? It's crazy. Oh, well, we need to remake the telescope already. That's not surprising. It's the only problem with leveling here. Okay, that's one of the problems with leveling here. One of many. You wish you didn't have horns for ears as aura. Some people love the horns, don't they? But they're hugely into their horns. I mean, that's the price you pay, isn't it? You either have horns or you have ears. Otherwise, you'd be like a sheep or something. If you had ears and horns, you'd be like a sheep. Or a ram, I guess. Which might as well make you a Draenei from World of Warcraft, because they're sheep people. Stepsister, that's quite good actually. I like that. I like that. Space goats, that's right. And then you get people who think that the Aura are dragons. That's fine. They can believe what they want to, but nah, they're not. No, they're not draconic enough. Lizards. Mm-hmm. Well, I remember there was a forum thread a very long time ago where people were trying to figure out if they were demons. What? Demons? Demons? It's inventive, but demons? I suppose they look the most demonic. With the correct, like, skin tones, eye colors, and that sort of stuff, but... Here's an unpopular opinion, maybe. I think Aura, the reason I like them is because they remind me of the Twi'lek from Star Wars. Does anyone else get the same vibe? A little bit. Like, I'm pretty sure if somebody played Star Wars, that MMO, and then came played this game, they'd probably immediately play an Aura. They are dragon descendants. Descendant doesn't... I mean, we're descendants of monkeys, but I don't go around calling myself a monkey. You know what I mean? There's a few thousand years of evolution there somewhere, surely. Otherwise, Mikote would be Kowals, you know? Think of it logically. I'm a Kowal girl. It's like, well, technically, I guess, by a few thousand years. Nah, you can't say you're a dragon. That's just like, I want to be a dragon. Well, I want to be, you know, a space ninja, but I can't be a space ninja because I'm not a space ninja. Coels, yeah. Well, that's supposedly the descendancy. Well, that's the ancestry, at least. Supposedly. Right, leveling up. Level 6 weapon. That means that we're nearly into the realms of not being able to do the A rank missions and needing to level. Fun. Weaving tools. Let's do the needle, sure. I think I need to remake the needle macro though, because that will have broken and it's very fragile. Yeah. Need the level 95 equivalent. It doesn't look any different actually. Okay. Mikota's on Mithra from 11. 11 is not canonically connected to Final Fantasy XIV in any direct way other than another shard or something. As far as I know, there's nothing that connects 11 to 14 directly. They're not the same worlds. There is crossovers between dimensions and stuff that happen where characters come through, but I don't think Mithra are the same thing, like even remotely. Also, that would also make, if they were another shard, like if there was a Final Fantasy XI shard, then Mithra would be just a reflection of Mikote, which would be a reflection. They would still all have the same sort of base ancestry in their own world, right? If that makes sense. So you'd have... There'd still be thousands of years of evolution there somewhere from something. Secret of a Sun on Mooncat? Sun mostly so that we don't have to have the face markings. Mooncats are awesome, but don't like the face markings. After a while it gets really, really frustrating. A stack of dusty tomes and a healthy imagination served as inspiration for this automaton designed to depict the Mithra, supposed ancestor of Mikote. Yeah, I guess. Well, that's like saying, like humans had Neanderthals, right? Which were human, but had more DNA supposedly of ape, right? So it depends how far you go back. Everything can be an ancestor of something, depending on how far you go back down the chain. If you're talking about Aura being dragons, that's like, I don't know how many thousands of years it would have taken for that, right? Many thousands. But there will be somewhere in between that would be closer to a dragon, but still have some humanoid features, if that makes sense. If you look at like the chart of evolution of like a human being, I don't know whether you believe it or not or whatever, you've got your ape on one side and you've got your human, modern day human on the other, and then there's like 7 stages or something ridiculous in between, maybe more. So it's kind of like, it's like a spectrum, isn't it? You heard Orod sign was based more on Oni, so I thought more. Yeah, interestingly enough, you're not wrong, Kurt, because In one of the Encyclopedia pages, there's some concept art, if I remember correctly, or it might be in the Realm Reborn art book. I forget which it was. And there was, in the original concept art, they were demonic people. Yeah. They had like whip tails and things. Very strange. But there's lots of like, yeah. Yeah, 3 million years. Give or take a few million years. What's the hairstyle is that? It's the Warden's hairstyle from the cash shop. Designed to look a little bit like Azema. Few million years, give or take, you know. Aura were clearly alligators. Were they also Floridians as well? You like moon-cats? Because I think the eyes are cuter, but I couldn't get the skin tone I wanted to become, so I became a sun-cat. The eyes are cool. It was the face markings that annoyed me. When I first created my character on this account in the beta of A Realm Reborn, she was she was a moon cat, and she had face markings, and it took me a year before I got really annoyed at them. We're talking like the old design though, where face markings looked, quite frankly, horrible. Like, there was a certain point when gear started to look better and better, and then you had this, like, it looked like clown makeup on her face. It didn't look like tribal markings. So I got rid of it and fantasied her to a different cat. Functionally, like, the same, but yeah. It's probably changed a lot since then. Well, it has, but wouldn't change back now. Kind of see it how High Elves evolved from the Trolls of Azeroth. Ah, yeah. But they had help from the Well of Eternity. Now we're getting into deep lore. I like it. Different facial features like scars over one eye. Yeah, there's some specific facial options that are locked behind specific race and sub-races, which I'm hoping in the future, like 8.0, because they said they were going to be working on future character customization options, right? I'm hanging on to that for dear life, because I believe that we can have a resolution to having more than 4 faces for a lot of the races. And I think at the same time, they need to have, you know, more than 4 different types of facial adornments. It'd be nice to have tattoos, like actual tattoos that aren't just fixed positions. So we'll see what they do, but it would be nice to have more customization. And one of the ways they could do that is unlock some of the unique ones from specific race, sub-race combinations to other races, if that makes sense. Why are you failing? Oh, because I didn't change the bloody level. Clever. Very clever. What rewards do I want in Shade's Triangle? Mounts, minions, glamour, collectible items such as barding, hairstyles, emotes, such as like the Shiver emote we had before. All of the relic weapons, all of the phantom jobs leveled up. Any titles. There'll probably be mounts locked behind field logs again, because if they're doing a similar thing, which they already showed they are, I don't know if you know this, but you remember the collect thingy? Oh my god, I'm so bad at remembering where things are. Where's the bloody collect menu gone? There it is. You know the field records where you get a mount? They've already confirmed this system is back, so we already know that there's probably going to be a mount reward from doing all of the field notes. So it is very likely that this is one of the things I'll be going for as well. Very much so. Again. So yeah, there's about, I don't know, just on paper at least 7 different avenues of things that I want to go for. That's without knowing anything about the content, so... Have I had a chance to play Oblivion Remastered? Yes, I put about 40 hours into it. And it rekindled a lot of love I had for Bethesda games that I thought I'd lost. Reminded me of my Xbox 360 many years ago. It was a good time. Alright, we failed. Cool. Got me at new mounts. Oh yeah, there'll be new mounts, there'll be new minions, there'll be new emotes, new bardings. It's your usual field operations fair, basically. You have all the usual sort of stuff. Can't wait to live in the pain of that one note never dropping. I can't wait to live in the pain of getting the note to drop, having it completed, and then Fran not giving me a rest, complaining about it at the side of me for the next month. Well, she tries to get the final note, and I'm like, what, this one? And then I end up sleeping on the sofa. Yeah, I can't wait for that. That's gonna be great. Yeah, I mean, the original Oblivion I put in hundreds of hours into. I used to like making spells and enchantments and messing with alchemy, and yeah, it was great. Hours and hours and hours of fun. Kind of like how you kept getting the Wheel of Fortune rewards and Fran didn't. Yeah, true. Very true. Yeah. You getting a new comfy sofa before the patch comes out? Oh wow, nice. We have an old reliable sofa that we've had for the last 25 years downstairs, and it's still comfy. It is literally the equivalent of, they do not make them like they used to. Weaving tools, let's do that one. Oh, it's just 1s and 2s mostly. Making good progress though, slow but surely. Level 96. I'm hoping that that there are less duels and things this time around for achievements. One of the things I really didn't like for Bosdra and Zadnor was the duel system, you know, where you would queue against all of these other people and then they would crowd around and watch you die. Kind of didn't like that. I thought that was kind of meh. Like, I still haven't bothered with those achievements. Like, the fights aren't particularly difficult. I just don't like the pressure of all of these random people surrounding me. It's weird. Don't like it. Because people get cocky and say stupid things, and then you're like, oh, but if you were in here, you'd do so much better, wouldn't you? Yeah, I don't like the whole mob mentality bullshit in video games. I don't like it. It's different when it's 8 of you failing on something, because there's never really normally just one person at fault. you know, or 4 of you, that's fine. But when it's just you and then there's all these people, and then you get DMs from people saying you wasted the opportunity, you now we have to wait for the cooldown again, screw you, and all this stuff. Like, I saw that last time. Those were the posts that were being posted on the forums and Reddit. People are monsters, you know? You put a time-limited thing, and then let it so that only one person gets to do it, and then if they fail, everyone gets all nasty. So yeah, I don't do those things. I'm not interested. As for Forked Tower, though, I am super excited. I love Baldessian Arsenal. I think it's brilliant. Ooh, red alert. Damn. It's not going to be a red alert I need, though, I don't think. We'll see. Can't remember if the Sponjoy one is goldsmithing or not. You really like it because of that? I like judging people. This is like a gladiatorial thing for you, probably. I mean, each to their own. But if they look something important behind it. Like, I was glad that I could get the field note from the regular fate rather than having to do the duel. If I had only the duel to do to get the field note, I would have probably not completed it and not got that mount. And I know for certain Fran wouldn't have bothered either, because she's not about to waste her time and get insulted for it. Looking forward to the new deep dungeon. Yeah, in 7.3, what, August we're thinking, right? Something like that. Maybe later. Still need to do Baldessian Arsenal in Eureka. It's a lot of fun if you find a group to go with that knows what they're doing. And my advice to you is to check if there's anybody doing it before you randomly decide to do it, because a lot of groups try to arrange runs, and it is more fun with other people. But you can do you, but I would advise checking out some Discord communities, because a lot of the time they're trying to arrange runs and get people on comms and stuff and help people out. It's quite fun. Like, we went with the late night Discord at the time. I don't think they do Baldessian. Maybe they do Baldessian, I have no idea. They never used to have any issues with it, but yeah, you could sign up for runs and stuff and meet some new people and get guided through it, basically. It's quite fun. It's a little bit chaotic if you don't, like, without comms, it's a little bit, yeah. Especially considering if you die, that's it. That's you done. There are ways around that, but that's the reason we decided to involve ourselves with other people. Just so that we could secure, you know, people who are designated to use their one-time resurrections and stuff. Has there been any news on Beastmaster? No, sadly not. As soon as there is, we'll pop out a video about it, but it's likely going to be talked about in one of the next live letters. If they want to talk about it anytime soon, then they have to kind of consider it sooner rather than later, since we're approaching the midpoint in the expansion. But yeah, nothing so far. Nothing so far. Yeah, the deep dungeon will be in 7.35. Yeah, that's right. Well, 7.3x, but it'll be 7.35 on it. We'll probably end up getting a Criterion as well around the same kind of time. Like Criterion and Variant mode. Those things always seem to pop up around the same kind of time. If you like those. Will this still work? No, it won't work. No, I can't be bothered to remake a macro for that. Late night is so fun. Yeah, they're a lovely bunch of people. Or at least the ones I did get to meet, yeah. You really hope it's like WoW pet battles? Let me do Pokemon battles across the world like with Triple Triad and PCs? Well, Lord of Verminion is completely garbage, so the natural evolution of that would be something like pet battles, wouldn't it? Hopefully. Just gonna finish making my telescopes and then we'll see if we can be bothered with a red alert or not. You're surprised how little they've mentioned Beastmaster. It either means that they're having troubles or they have something that they don't want to talk about that's epic. Hopefully the latter of the two. Hopefully we get news soon, you know. Yeah, Fashion Report Fashion Report plus Make It Rain. Yeah, definitely worth. Nah, Blizzard Entertainment doesn't really copyright ideas because they didn't come up with the ideas themselves in the first place. Like most of World of Warcraft's evolution came from influence from other video games, from other MMOs that did certain things better. And when those MMOs died out, they still have those bits. Like there were some original ideas, but the majority of things, yeah, there's no point in me doing this. Red alert. No point whatsoever. Okay. 2s and 1s, so we need custom parts. Do we still have the sprocket? We do. For the chain. Where's the sprocket? Where's the 40 durability drone lens? The rings? That might work. Gonna be a bit short though. Sure we had a... It wasn't that one, it was definitely this one. Yeah. But that's the thing, like, nobody is as, I mean, nobody is as, how do we even describe what Nintendo does these days? How do we even describe that without being, like, rude? It seems petty in some regards. I think that's the word for it. Like, when I read that thing about flying, I was like, what? What do you want about? And then the more you read, the less you like. It's pretty bad, isn't it? But yeah, I think petty is definitely the word. Criminal? Potentially. Depending on copyright law, which I know nothing about. I know nothing about copyright law beyond YouTube stuff. And that's kind of outdated now, quite honestly. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. $798 DU60. Huh. Oh, it has a C in it. Oops. Oh god, it's huge. Okay. Yeah, there's no goldsmithing on this particular red alert, so it's just a waste of time me going over there. I mean, it's good for points, but I want to get my tools done. That's the priority, and there's no goldsmithing to be done over there, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would, but nah, no point. Need time travel to go back and bring a game out in the 90s that had all of their copyright stuff in it, so they can't do the copyright thing. What, like flying? There was games in the 90s that did flying, like, I don't know, before then, Pilot Wings. Let's see, what else? Capturing monsters? Monster Rancher? Let's see, what else was before then? There are examples. Like, the foundations of what they're trying to copyright are just bonkers. Those things have existed in other games. They are not original ideas. They might be original to put them all together, which is what I thought their lawsuit was going to be based on. Like, I thought they were going to be like, right, the combination of all of these ideas is more of the patent rather than the individual elements, but they're focused more on these are the individual elements that are ours. It's like, no, but they're not yours though, are they? So yeah, it's a strange argument to be had. They would lose either way, though, to be fair. In theory, they should lose. Because it's silly. Speaking of Nintendo, though, I'm looking forward to getting my Switch 2. Gonna play some Mario and hopefully play 14 on it someday. That'd be nice. It's possible. Did I make... Yeah, there we go. I made enough. Good. Then there's a 2-part sprocket. Monsters releasing from balls. I'm sure that's been done, but probably not from balls. That might be the only thing that they have. Like specifically balls, like spheres or whatever. There's been monsters that have been summoned through books and hand gestures and wands and staves. I'm trying to think of examples. Not sure about balls. Maybe there could be something. Which you don't own and they can switch off with no notice. Yeah. I think sometimes you just kind of have to live in a world of ignorance to... Oh, I didn't mean to do this mission. We don't need that now. You have to have some kind of enjoyment in life, and the only way to do that is to live in complete ignorance. It's like the Matrix. You know what I mean by that? Where we, you know, ignorance is bliss. Because the more you start to think about things, the more you try to challenge them, the more you try to kick back against things, the less of a moral high ground that you can stand on at a certain point when you realize that everyone is doing the same stupid, crappy behavior. Like, people are telling me before, oh, you support Nintendo, oh, you're the worst person ever. It's like, well, no. I I like playing games. Not supporting Nintendo, not directly. Indirectly, yes. But that's not my thing, man. Like, I want to play Bravely Default. I don't care. Sorry, but if it's only coming out on the Switch too for a set period of time, I'm gonna get a Switch too. It's like Dusk Bloods. If that's an exclusive to the Switch too, I'm sorry, but any morality out the window. And I'm not ashamed to say that, because I've been the opposite of that for a very long time when I was younger. There's no point. There's no point. Because whilst you sit there and you try to boycott something, a million other people aren't. If that makes sense. Maybe it's a defeatist attitude. Maybe that's what I've got these days. I think that's the problem with me, and I think it is a problem, but I just don't care as much. Unfortunately. I kind of just wish it was simple. Like when I was a kid or a teenager or just before then, you know, you booted up the PlayStation, you put in a game, you played game, you had fun. If you didn't have fun, you sold the game. Now, they're taking away a lot of the ways that I can have that fun by making it so that we can't sell video games and stuff. So there are certain things that I'm definitely less happy about. But it kind of feels like I'm the angry grandpa shouting at clouds kind of situation. Half of the time. Like nothing I seem to say doesn't really make a difference. So I just don't care. I just genuinely don't care anymore. Which might suck for some people, but I just don't care. In a day and an age where purchasing something from a cash shop to showcase for a YouTube video turns out that everybody says I'm a shill, it's like, oh, okay. I don't think I give a crap anymore then. If that's how it's seen, if that's how people see it. If a company sends me something and I show it off in a video rather than just keeping it for myself, apparently I'm the problem. It's like, okay. Really? I could have just put this on a shelf and never talked about it, and you would have never got to see that it exists, but I don't do that. Yeah, people suck. That's what we're getting at the end of the day, but companies definitely aren't smelling of roses. But I just, it's hard not to just make the realization that you're getting older and it doesn't matter. That's how I feel. Right, so we're now at the point where we need Goldsmith 4, and to get Goldsmith 4 we need to do A ranks, but to do A ranks we need to be level 100, and to be level 100 we need to level up through repetitive use of these. So we should do the 1 and the 2s. Well, that does all 3. Okay, this is the good one. Alright, so we spam for Class B Lunar Material Tool Processing. That's the one we do. And I think we need a new lunar alloy bar, don't we? D8208 DU25 bar. And that's the needle. Interesting. And that's the 12027 needle. Which is completely different, actually. Okay. Right. I see. 12027 DU80 needle. 12027, level 97 solve, yeah. It gets tiring after a while, you know. Like, there's only so far you can go before you just don't care anymore. Sorry, but it definitely feels that way to me. Let me read chat. Now I fixed that. Isn't Duskblood's a PvP game or so? I think so, yeah. Well, it's a PvEE. PvPE? Anyway, it's like there's bosses and people can drop in to kill you or not. Or they join you in. It's kind of... It's one of those games. It looks interesting to me. I like the look of it. You understand it, boycotting something only works if everyone is in, and that's just not going to happen. That's true. That is true. I've done it before. I've deliberately not played something or purchased something or whatever just for the base principle. And then at the end of the day, who sat there brooding and angry whilst everyone else enjoys it in complete ignorant bliss? So I think the games industry as a whole has a much bigger problem than any one particular studio or publisher. Majoritively, that comes down to monetization practices not being set any kind of precedents in any kind of legal standing. So until like different governments and things work towards some kind of standardization of what is allowed, what is accepted, what is, you know, it's not really the consumer's fault when they're being allowed to do what they do with many different projects by the people who should be in charge of them. So, well, the games industry is still quite far behind in terms of that side of things logistically, especially compared to film, television, that kind of thing, radio. It's got a long way to go. So you might as well just enjoy what you want to once you can. It's like the same people who still boycotts or say, oh, I'll never get an Xbox again or whatever. I don't know. I really don't care about that. If I want something and I have the disposable income to do it, then I will. You know, I've purchased consoles before just for a specific game. I think one of the latest ones was Grand Theft Auto, like Grand Theft Auto 5 when that came out. You know, prime example. People will purchase something to do what they want to. Like, Sony are onto a money printing machine with the PlayStation 5 Pro because, yeah, it's kind of meh at the moment, but GTA 6. That's all you need to say. Immediately they're gonna print money. Immediately they're gonna print money with that. Would they have printed the money without it? No, I don't think so. Maybe, but maybe not. Considering all they have to do is show a performance change, like metrics, and that's it. That's all I'll have to do. Used to buy all the systems. I used to be similar to that a little bit. I couldn't always afford I still can't afford everything really, but nowadays it's maintain my PC because that's like the main thing. It can do nearly everything I want to do. Nintendo is still worth it in my eyes because they've still got some good first-party stuff, in my opinion, at the least. That's my opinion. That is worth doing. Also, the Switch One is basically an RPG machine. That's how I see it. It is so incredibly useful to play old-school RPGs on portably without any real issues. the amount of different RPGs from a back catalog of games that you probably don't like that I do from the 90s onwards, oh my god, it is worth having. Like, they still haven't put out the re-release port version of Secret of Mana in the Mana collection. That still hasn't come outside of, as far as I know, outside of the Switch. Yeah, you can get a remake, but where's the original? That's what I say, like, and you can play like the original Seiken Densetsu 3 in English, but with the old graphics, and you don't have to play Trials of Mana. It's great. So there's lots of examples of games that I buy a Nintendo system for that you won't buy a Nintendo system for. Or if you do, cool. Like, for me, Bravely Default is going to be something I very enjoy playing. I've never played that series, and when they announced that, I was like, ooh, is it out on any other system? No. Guess I'm buying a Switch 2 then. And then Duskbloods, and then Mario Kart World looks good, because I like the crew and games like that, so... Donkey Kong is not my thing, though. I will not be interested. Enhanced versions? Yeah, that could be good. PvPvE? Ah, so it's not like PvEP. I like PvEP. PvEP. Not even for specific games. I need people who brought a PS3 to watch Blu-rays. To be fair, that is totally valid, and 9 times out of 10 reasons that I have that I bought a PS4 was for Blu-rays, because there was some Blu-ray anime that I imported and I had nowhere to play. And yeah, it's great. Why? Oh, my food fell off. That's why. That explains everything. The anti-focus focus, as I call it, where you don't actually focus, but you focus on other things. What gets you is they try to, they put the price up around the world so they can counter the tariffs without making America pay for it. The tariff situation is very hard for somebody like myself to understand. And I'm not going to even try to understand the geopolitical ramifications of decisions of one world leader or another. It's above my pay grade. I don't understand it, so I don't have a comment on it. That's how I will end that sentence. All I understand is that the world is in a situation where the prices of things are ludicrous. Import taxes are ludicrous, and I really don't know how it must feel to have those even higher in the US. It's an interesting situation, 2025. One that I do not understand, and I don't think I'm able to understand, so I'm not going to attempt to understand. But it sucks? Question mark? There must be some benefit somewhere that I don't understand, so. Me, I know nothing. It sucks? Yeah. Agreed. You literally only play JRPGs on my Switch. It's so convenient, isn't it? Currently going through the Xenoblade Chronicles 1. How good will it look to see a lot of those games? I mean, some of them are going to be upscaled, right? Admittedly, but they've got enhanced versions. Did you see the photos of Scarlet and Violet that have been making the rounds? I think they're official photos. Screenshots, I should say, not photos. Of the comparison of the same scene in original Switch versus Switch 2 enhanced version of Scarlet. And the amount of Pokemon shown on screen at any one time has been increased because of the hardware. And the grass is actually grass and not just a flat green texture. And the water's like choppy. It's great. It's awesome. Today I bring you philosophical Meoni, me on I, or I on me. Are the eyes looking at me, or is it me looking at myself? What? Ruby, you're so confusing. How are you doing? How's things? Bet you confused yourself in the process of typing that. I would not be surprised. Hope you're well, though. Hope you're well. You read my name in a different way today. How many ways is there to read 5 letters? Ah, by adding a by adding a 6th letter in. I see. I like that one. Meoni. Sure, why not? I think I named one of my alts Meoni. Probably because of somebody like you saying it. Oh, that was it. There was a video game that I was going to play and do some testing on, and somebody had taken my name in the game, so I just put a W in there. I forget which game it was now. You got a new Switch grip, and it feels like a Steam Deck now. Oh yeah, the grips are awesome. Is it rubberized? Today we got delivered the travel case, the Switch 2 travel case, made by Venom, I think it is. So I picked up the hard boxed, reinforced, comfy Venom travel case from Amazon. It came today for the Switch 2, and it's really, really good. It's really good. I tried putting the Switch 1 in it, and it looks like it's a tiny little console in there. In comparison, I was like, oh, baby Switch. That's the one I said I wasn't going to redo the macro for. These are different missions. How dare they? What's this? 39.90.80. Do we have... maybe that one? Might work. Fair enough, Steve. Fair enough. I'm just hoping it's going to be the year of Square Enix announcements at some point, because we've not really had any announcements. Other than, you know, Kingdom Hearts mobile game cancellation and some Kingdom Hearts 4 screenshots. Hopefully we can get some games. That would be nice. I love it when there's remasters and remakes of Final Fantasy games and old Square Enix JRPGs. A lot of people don't like it, but those are the announcements I live for on one of those, like the Switch Directs and things, like the Nintendo Directs. I always look forward to seeing what Square Enix has been cooking up. Last time it was Bravely Default, and now it's going to be what? I don't know. Something else. Yeah, Square Enix needs to, in my opinion, do what it's good at doing. Make RPGs. Remaster RPGs. That kind of stuff. Come up with new ideas for RPGs, you know? Those are the things that sell systems. Like Octopath, you know, even though that was outsourced. Games like that. I love HD 2D stuff. The Dragon Quest stuff is sick. I love that. I'm looking forward to playing through those. Less interested about mobile games though. They're not really something I play, which is one of the reasons I'm not 100% sold on 14 on there. I hope there's another version somewhere, because it looks good. The mobile version of 14 looks really good. Ah, balls. I didn't heal. Yeah, Make It Rain is live. Yeah. Chrono Trigger. You see, if they did Chrono Trigger, a Trigger remaster, oh, that would be so good. Like remastered versions of the music as well, like reorchestrated. Wonder if they'll ever dare to remaster the 13 trilogy. Hopefully not. No, if they do, it'd be interesting. It'd be cool, but like 13's fine. 13.2 is pushing it, and Lightning Returns, at least in my opinion, is it's one of the worst RPGs I've ever played in my life. I really did not like it. And that's why we're different. Oh, the Final Fantasy IX announcement on the Nintendo Direct would have been amazing. And a lot of people reacted to Bravely Default thinking it was Garnet at the start. Chrono Trigger would sell. I mean, Chrono Trigger is effectively Square Enix's Grand Theft Auto. Maybe not on this. No, it's not. It's their get out of jail free card, in my opinion. Like, if all else fails, you can heavily rely on nostalgia to carry a game like Chrono Trigger to reach new levels. I mean, especially in a day and an age where we get the Oblivion remaster and it's so good, they shadow dropped that, and it's what, 1 million copies in the first, was it month? I don't know. How long has it been? More than 1 million copies? I don't know. People who have never touched Elder Scrolls games before are suddenly playing Oblivion. It's amazing to me. You've got to look at that in the boardroom and go, hey, so I've been playing the Oblivion remaster. Oh, have you? Yes. Maybe we should look at our back catalog and answer some of our fans' pleas. Maybe it's not so much of a bad idea after all. Other person turns around. You mean it could make us money? Yes, Money-chan, we can. I don't know. What's his name? Money-chan. And then before you know it, they sell 1 million copies on the first day. And then it's probably unrealistic. They'd sell more than the Mana series would, sadly. As much as it pains me to say that, because I love the Mana series. You put Chrono Trigger on a Switch 2 and PlayStation and Steam. Simultaneous launch. With reorchestrated music and a little toggle option, and do it HD 2D, like Octopath style. Oh my god, dude. Print money. You didn't finish Lightning Returns, hated being against the clock? See, I said that before and someone said, oh, so you hate the Zelda games then? I was like, no, because those worked. Lightning Returns, you could be halfway through a piece of dialogue on a side quest and suddenly Hope calls you up on a telephone and tells you it's time to let those people die. It's like, oh. Really did not enjoy Lightning Returns. And the ending was such absolute poo. It was such a bad ending. I'm not going to talk about it for obvious reasons, but it was such poo. To put it politely. Like, what were they thinking? And then it was like, oh yeah, Final Fantasy 15 is the natural evolution of this. Yeah, okay. when it was called Agito. And then they tried to distance themselves away from 13 as quickly as possible. Good evening, Divinus. How are you? I hope you are well. Alright, that telescope's broken. And that's because we're level 98, so it's broken the macros again. Cool. Yeah, you put like, here's a game that Square Enix, I don't even know if they have the rights to, that would make me happy if we suddenly randomly got a remaster of it, and that's Bahamut Lagoon. I don't know who has the rights to that anymore, but you remake that game or remaster it, people will be amazed how good it is. It's such a good game. Then obviously there's the elephant in the room, which is Final Fantasy Tactics, which I think is the equivalent of Grand Theft Auto in terms of, you know, the probably the most profitable that they could have with an IP if they did remaster it and put it on modern consoles, because there's so many people who never got to play Tactics, and it's such a bloody good game. Especially in the day and age when we have like, those games, Fire Emblem, and, you know, that kind of thing is very, very, very popular right now. And Tactics is like the progenitor of all of that stuff, or one of. Plus, it's a good story. And it's hard as balls as well in certain parts. But yeah, that would be the perfect Nintendo Direct for me for like the Switch 2 a month after its release. Here's Square Enix with 5 new announcements. Like, what? Final Fantasy Tactics remastered. What? Chrono Trigger remastered. What? All of these lovingly reproduced games in HD 2D by the same studio that brought you Octopath Traveler, and then that's it. I'd throw everything off my desk in happiness. Be like, okay, that's how you make games. Because if those don't sell, nothing will sell. I can guarantee you, if those games came out and they wouldn't sell, nothing else will sell. Not a thing. Well, probably FF9. FF9 remake would be... that would sell a console, I think actually. You know, they could just make new games as well. Don't know if that's a prospect, but it'd be cool to see some new in-house Square Enix stuff. Like, in-house. I'm also hoping we get news of the Final Fantasy XIV second Monster Hunter collaboration, because that was supposed to happen at some point, or was talked about at least. That would make me happy. Here's a question. If there was, let's say, a Nintendo Direct or a PlayStation State of Play, that's what they're called, or an Xbox, God, I don't know what they're called. Xbox, look, we have games, trust me, I promise. Or, you know, a PC Gamer Expo thing. What is the one game that you would like to see remastered or remade for 2025 that would make you purchase any one of those consoles or PC? That would immediately be the ticket for you. What would be the pushover point for you? I'm curious, because there is lots of different people of different age groups here. Free space. Ooh, that's a good choice. Chrono Trigger, yeah. Tenchu? Tenchu. Stealth Assassins. Yes. I love Tenchu 1 and 2. After 1 and 2, it got really pointless for me, personally. I love the PS1 game. Chrono Trigger Time Splitters? Yeah. Time Splitters deserves like a modernized version or a new entry. Like with Cortez. Yeah. Future Perfect was, and still is, probably one of my favorite FPS games when I was a kid. Yeah, Tenchu was cool because it had this really weird stealth mechanic that was very similar to Metal Gear Solid, and worse in some places than Metal Gear Solid, but it just felt like nothing else. Like nothing else felt like Tenchu. It felt like you were an assassin. I don't know how else to explain that, but it was really, really good. Standard flexible plating. All of the different items that you could use, the shurikens, and also the thing that made Tenchu good was its limitations as well. That's something a lot of people don't really talk about with, well, I don't think they talk about that game, but what I mean is the draw distance was so bad in Tenchu, right? You couldn't see the map by standing on top of a building. Now, that's the sort of thing that doesn't exist in modern gaming. But I'll tell you one thing, it made the thing terrifying. The game was absolutely terrifying because of that. And in many ways, kind of better for it, in my opinion. I loved how you could be a few inches away from death at any point. You know, there could be a guard around a corner you've not seen, and you might not have planned things quite as well as you thought you had. And then you walk around and there's this guy that sees you, and then suddenly you're getting arrows in the face. And then dead. It's great. But that's the sort of thing that if they revisited Tenchu, it would be like this beautiful, open, draw distance, full thing. And I'm not sure I would enjoy it as much, maybe. It'd be a bit easier. You've also got the other problem with remasters and remakes, okay, which a lot of people don't like to talk about. And that's, majority of times they try to make things easier. Like, I kind of prefer it when they approach an old project and they're like, right, what made this game fun? What made it unfun? And then they cut away the things that were unfun just simply to have a more modern experience. But there are many people that would have liked that as a toggle rather than it just being cut away. I'm trying to think of a prime example of this, but I'm sure you can think of some. But there have been many remasters where I've like, oh, they got rid of the necessity to do that. Oh, it's quality of life. It speeds things up. Yeah, but it'd be nice if that was a toggle rather than me having to no longer do part of the game that used to take me 3 hours. I don't know. You'd think the older I'd get, the more I would honor each and every hour I get to play games. It's been the absolute opposite. The older I seem to get, the more I value the annoying bits in games. It's weird. It's hard to explain. Very hard to explain. Like, it's frustrating, but there's a reason it exists. whatever the mechanic may be. It just feels like there's this slow simplification that's cropping up, and it's slowly creeping in. Like visuals, yeah, sure, change them. Gameplay mechanics, to some degree, okay. Tank controls need to be set in concrete and dumped in the ocean, as far as I'm concerned, because tank controls in old video games ruins them. It's like the new Tomb Raider remasters are actually really good, but they have a toggle option. This is what I'm talking about. The reason they're so good is you can toggle the tank controls on or off and use analog sticks. That's heaven. The amount of deaths I've had on those games as a kid from getting stuck in a corner and she's jumped the wrong direction because of where I was faced or something. It's funny, but yeah. They need to actually play the game and not just approach it from a potential monetary project. Then the remakes or remasters will be legendary, like Oblivion. The thing about that as well is, didn't Bethesda hire a team to do the remaster of Oblivion, but like underneath them sort of thing? Like they had people who were working on modding projects and stuff. Didn't they invite some people to take part and get paid and stuff? That's what you need to do. You need to find the original people if they still exist, right? Or people that worked on a project, and give them the opportunity to reimagine their games if they were able to make them today. And in many ways, stuff like the Nier games as a prime example. Trying to think of another example. And then with what people they can't get, try to have the rest of the people on said team play the originals, realize what was so great about them, and try to build on that rather than take away from any of those aspects. Because it's all very well and good when you slap a new paint job on an old video game, and that's fine. And sometimes I kind of wish that's all they did on some games, because then you realize that there's it's like auto looting. So that's something that exists. I'm trying to think of a prime example. Maybe you can think of one. There are remasters that I've played where they're more akin to remakes in certain parts of the game mechanics than others, where you have like this auto loot that's untoggleable. Like a lot of games don't have the ability to turn it off. Some do, but not all of them. And then you're walking along expecting to pick loot up and it's just like hoovering it up. So what? Why is it doing that? And in many ways, though, that can also work against you. There are some things I deliberately would never loot in certain games because of bag space or encumbrance and things. And then suddenly you've hoovered that up. I hate that. I really hate that. Don't want it to hoover these things up. I want to, you know, if I wanted a vacuum cleaner, I'd go play with a vacuum cleaner. Let me play my old game. No, that's the one I don't want to do. That's the mirrors. Which one was this? No, I don't know. Can't be bothered with that one. Let's just get the last level. We'll redo the mirror one because We use it a lot. Level 99. Solve. You're a looter hoarder, never know when I'm going to need it. I agree with that sentiment, but I would like to choose when and what I hoard. Like there are items in video games that are literally junk items that you can't use. Or things that make no sense, or sell value for like 0 or 1. Something you want to see remade is Golden Sun 1 and 2. Ooh, what a good choice. Interesting. Homeworld Remastered comes to mind. It's not the same as loot, but the game will auto-extract all of the resources from the level and push you on to the next without giving you a chance to reorganize. What, really? I've not played the remasters. I've played the original Homeworld though, and yeah, I used to love that game. I never played more than the first game though. I know they came out with a sequel, didn't they? I've not played that. I've not played the remasters either. That sucks that it moves you on. Random cosmic tool question. Oh, that's welcomed. Do you get the tool at version 1? Do you get the tool at version 1, or it's the version 0.9 prototype? You get the tool is a physical object that gets added to your inventory at every single stage. So you get 0.7, for example, in my inventory here, 0.8, 0.9. So all of the stages all have a physical, all numbers have a physical thing. And if you don't have one of a particular, like let's say for instance you never picked up the Carpenter one, you can go to the Researching Way guy here and ask for a tool, and he'll give you the level 0.1 tool, if that makes sense. And it just swaps them out every time you level up, right? Every time every time this goes up a rank when you go to talk to him. That, I don't know if that's, does that answer your question? I'm not sure. I'm sorry. Old Amiga game called Dragon's Breath. I actually know that game. Yeah. You know what I'd like to see remade? From the Jaguar, I would like to see the Cannon Fodder game remade. Cannon Fodder, dude. On the Jaguar. Oh my god. Hours and hours and hours of anger and fun. That game was so weird. Another game I would like to see remade, Syndicate, the original Syndicate from the Super Nintendo? It was on other platforms as well, but the Super Nintendo one I remember playing. That was such a good game. Like, insanely good game. I was going to say Shadowrun, but I think they probably did that. I don't know if they did that. I can't remember. Somebody was talking about Shadowrun the other day, and I'm not sure if they said there was a remake or whatever. A remaster. Those are cool games. Oh, it's on GOG? Nice. You had beer. Did I miss anything? Nearly level 100, and we were talking about games we would like to see remastered and remade, or if you were to choose, if you were on the fence about purchasing a console or something, what would make you drop your beer and immediately give X company money, whichever it might be, to immediately have whatever that game was, be that a remaster, a remake, or a second or sequel or new entry in a series? Be interesting to see what you say, because you're quite old school as well in places, right, Lennon? If you don't mind me saying. You don't know, I'm kind of content as I am. Oh. There's nothing that would make you go, ooh, take my money. No fry memes. Yeah, take my wallet. No. How's the grinding? It's going all right. We're nearly done. I just need to get level 100 so that we can do the A rank missions. Because we need Goldsmith 4, and they only come from the A ranks. So on the last level, and then we blast out the rest of the tool really quickly. It takes about 4 hours to finish a relic. You've been disillusioned by remakes so far? Yeah, we were talking about that as well. Like changes and weird decisions. You're in a pessimistic mindset? It's hard not to be cynical when companies drive that cynicism with sloppy ports or weird decisions in remakes or reimaginings that you never asked for, or strange simplifications of mechanics that you can't toggle on or off, or strange weird online only requirements for single player RPGs from the 90s. Mentioning no names, there are a few. Very strange decisions. You just started a Cosmos due to raiding on a different server. Oh, cool. So you've been busy raiding and not had much time for your moon stuff. Yeah, it's quite fun. I'll be glad when I've got my final tool, and then yeah. Do 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 do. All right, let's finish this mirror off. Homeworld server only, yeah. It's interesting, isn't it? Oh, bloody hell, SimCity. What a massive disappointment that was. What a massive disappointment. If there ever was an advertisement for you to go play City Skylines or something else like that, it was when they did the online SimCity. Oh. 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 Why? Why? Wait, you go for 2 hours and then you crash? What? Okay. Give me a second. What's changed? Nothing's changed. What? What? Why? Why did you crash? That makes no sense. That makes no sense. I reinstalled everything and we've been going for 2 hours with not an issue. And before then, I had tested it for like another, I don't know, 3 hours. Is this just the game being the game? Well, yeah. Could be overheating. I don't think so. No overheating. I'll check for you, but I really do not think so. Not with my setup. No, the most it got to was 70 under load. So that's like nothing. I mean, 14 isn't even demanding, so very weird. Hold on, let me just check. I'm gonna check hardware info, HW info. No. No, it's nothing temp related. Weird, dude. I don't... Very unusual. Why you break video game? Alright, we're just gonna chalk it down to the instability of the patch or something. I have no idea. No idea. Not even a remote Scoobies about that one. I have literally zero Scooby-Doos. Oh, you know what's the most annoying thing about that crash? So, if your game crashes and you've made macros, to save macros you have to log out of the video game manually. If you crash, it deletes the macros and resets them back to what you had before. We're gonna have to use the old one. Because we made macros down here since then. How much worse can your day get? Well, would you like a list? God's sake. Is Fran crashing your PC so you don't finish the tools first? Fran... I think she's done like 2 tools. Maybe 1 actually, I'm not sure. So she'd have to somehow catch up a lot quicker. I don't know how she would do that. Not gonna happen. That's weird. I had a single issue for hours and then suddenly the game just goes blip. Very odd. But there was no reason for that to happen. Like there was no... I don't know. And we're on because somebody was talking about the graphics driver. We downgraded to driver 56636 and they did a full DDU. It's been working fine. You know, that's the December the 5th graphics driver because the new ones are broken or whatever. No idea. No idea. I mean, Star Citizen was working earlier. I mean, that tells you all you need to know about... If that game works, why does this one not work? Yeah, DirectX 11 crashed and the only thing that solved it was severely undervolting your graphics card. I'm not messing around with that. For one game. Not gonna happen. Is the industry pushing us to buy the Series 5000 GPU? What, so I can get fake frames? Oh, that'd be awesome. That'd be great, that would. Cool. Really had high hopes for Cosmic. I thought we were going to visit a world we'd never seen. We will. See new creatures and whatnot. Maybe. And let's just leave quests on the moon. I swear Yoshi P gave up on trying. So... realistically, how would you go to other planets? You'd create a base on the moon first, right? Am I wrong about that? I mean, if they gave up on trying, why is there going to be 3 planets? I don't understand. You've got to start off somewhere familiar and then... You know, there's the orange planet full of vines that was shown in concept art for one of them. Nah, I don't. You bet they're gonna look the same. Not all gonna be brown or grey moons. Nah, I'll see it when I believe it. I think that's you probably just not enjoying Ishgard restoration or reconstruction efforts, and that's fine. I will agree with you on one point though. They could make it more hands-on. They could have some other things to be more involved. But aside from that, it's basically Ishgard restoration too, with the fact that you no longer have to fill your inventory full of garbage from the diadem. What did you expect though from crafting and gathering content? Like realistically? At most, that's 3 planets. There's 4 planetoids. The moon and 3 planets, no? Or 3 worlds, or 3 stars, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know how they want to describe it in the game. Planetary objects. I don't want to do that one. It's not optimal. Weaver's tools. I don't think I ever made a... Oops. Go away. I don't think I ever made a rover shaft, did I? I mean, for those of us who knew what to expect, it's basically what we expected. But if you were expecting it to not be, then I suppose, yeah, it would be quite disappointing. I can't say that I'm disappointed in the concept or the delivery of what we got. I do think that there could be other things, but at the same time, what more could there be? It's crafting and gathering content. We knew it was going to be that way. It kind of splices together the Island Sanctuary sort of progression system, unlocking new areas through phasing tech at the same time as you working on a relic tool. There's accessibility, level 10 and above, or at least to some degree, even though there's not a lot for a level 10 player to do. It's basically Ishgard restoration. Like, there's not really... You know, anything else is kind of a bonus on top of that, really. At least I think so. Roro Ashina says, well, considering when you go to the panel with all of the missions, spin 100 wheels, etc., you can select an area. I'm pretty sure there will be more planets. Yeah, we already know. There's 4 places. I thought we wanted to get a unique UI for crafting, make it a little fun, different actions just for Cosmic. Oh, there are different actions for Cosmic, yeah. There are the special collectible ones. Synthesis Miracle, stuff like that. And they have their own UI system where you have your own personal inventory where your bait is kept separate from your inventory, and so your crafted collectibles. There's a good variety of missions, I think. I mean, there is a custom UI. It's not like we're going into the crafting menu, you know. Yeah, I mean, the fact that everything gets stored into your local Cosmo pouch, especially with the gathering stuff, and the fact that they issue your, as you call it, your leave quest, right? If that's what you want to call it, your expert recipe or whatever, and the fact that you get given the items rather than having to go and source them. Or is that your argument? Maybe you would have preferred to go to somewhere like the Diadem again and have an inventory thing. I mean, personally, I prefer this method because I don't have to juggle a million things on top of the other million things that I stick in my inventory. but maybe you might enjoy the grind of separate zones or something. I'm not sure. Yeah, that'd be a cool mount. That would be a cool mount, the hoverboard. Yeah, GP reset. We were talking about this at the start of the stream and over the last few days, actually, where a lot of people have said the same thing, where we would like some kind of regen increase at the very least to GP. Or after, like, let's say you get to level 12 on Cosmic Exploration Moon, right? It levels up. Maybe there's like a structure that we can build that increases a radius around the base where you get a buff of regen of GP when you've completed a successful mission. Like it gives you a buff. Or maybe they can incorporate that into the mech missions, where doing the mech missions just doesn't only give you a lunar credit bonus, but gave you a buff, like a timed buff for 10 minutes of increased GP for gatherers and increased craftsmanship by like 10 or 12 for crafters. That alone would make the mech missions more desirable to play people, mean that people wouldn't skip them as much, and mean that we'd have much higher contribution points pushing up the bar for each server, especially for your lower population servers, such as my own. But there are many solutions that could be incorporated that we hope to see in the future, for sure. Do you think that long-term players might have too low of expectations? Because at this point I go into every patch expecting very little beyond. Maybe we do. Maybe we do have low expectations, but at the same time, I'd love to know from a gameplay perspective what they were expecting. You know what I mean? Like, if you sell, like, okay, here's the tagline, crafting and gathering content. As soon as you say that to me, I can outlaw several things that I would have thought about previously. Because before we knew what cosmic exploration was, I had a grandiose idea that maybe there'll be like some kind of, you know, structure or something that we're helping to, you know, build or whatever. But at the same time, there'd be like some rescue missions or something, or like space exploration kind of things. Then when the tagline came, crafting and gathering, immediately I knew what we were going to go for. And when they said in that live letter, oh, it's going to be basically a cross between Ishgard Restoration and Island Sanctuary, as soon as they said that, my expectations were immediately tailored to exactly what we got. I suppose as a new player, though, you might not have those expectations built in. You might not have played through that content, right? So you might have a completely different perspective of what's possible in the game. I will say, though, there's something for everybody. And I do think that you're going to have a lot more enjoyment out of something like Shade's Triangle. Maybe. Again, if you're not into crafting and gathering, it's not going to... The mood... This place is not going to be interesting to you in the slightest. Maybe aesthetically, but if you don't want to do crafting and gathering, it's not really the content drop for you, unfortunately. But it's such a lot of crossover with different players, right? Such a lot of crossover. You can't be set into a specific category of I only like PvE, or I only like PvP, or I only like, you know, player versus hammer, you know, crafting or gathering. It doesn't work that way. Actually building the rocket would be good. How do we know we don't build a rocket at the end of this? I can guarantee you... Here you go. Here's my... I don't know, because, well, no one knows. Here is my bet. Okay? I've put a poker chip on the table. I think it's $20. Okay? We will end up building a form of transportation to the next world by the end of stage 16. That is my guess. If I am wrong, then I don't know. We'll do some kind of crazy giveaway. Okay? We'll find some codes and things and we'll do massive giveaway. I firmly believe it would be stupid to end this content without the building of some kind of way of getting to another planet. Be that a rocket, a slingshot, teleporter, I don't know, the Ragnarok, whatever it might be. There needs to be something at the end of this content to link it to the other moons or planets. And if we don't have that, then I'll eat my hat. Like I say, I'll give away a bunch of stuff. I'll find something. I'll ask around. The plot twist, the pirates are trying to actually resurrect Zodiac. Have they looked at the forums too? Right, so we are level 100. So now we've got a pentamelded set on, which is our last level 100. So we actually got an achievement, didn't we? For that, Mastering the Hand. The Arbiter of the Arts. That is probably one of the worst titles. Not the worst, but one of. Don't like that at all. It's worth 20 points though, so I like that. Cool. Right, now we have access to Cosmic 4 recipes. So at this point in the game, we need to delete every single macro and start again. So before we do that, I'm going to go for a quick break, and then we're going to be as destructive as possible to our list, and then make it accessible for all crafters and gatherers to have this exact same list of, well, crafters to have the exact same access to the same macros, and then we can farm points after that as well. So you still haven't received your mouse pad? Yeah, feel free to DM them. Did they? You presumably gave them your address and stuff. That's so weird. I went through so much effort to try and get that to work. I really did. All of the extra contacting. Like, I had to contact the other two winners as well on their behalf, because they couldn't find them. So, yes. You got the software. Well, where's the... I'm sure you will get it, but DMing them might not be a terrible idea, in my opinion. You thought it would be interesting if the other planets we go to are planets for the people on Thor. The only problem with that is then you'd be locking plot relative endings to things that were introduced into an MSQ locked behind crafting and gathering, which I can already see the forums now. It has to be like unpopulated or undiscovered places, I think. I'd like that too. I agree with you, but I don't think it's something that they could safely do. When it comes to Cosmic, you need to have stuff that's unexpected. That's not to say that you can't have inhabitants, though. Like, you could have different peoples or creatures. I personally would like to see them have a Pandora type approach to one of the planets, where we come and we're seen as the horrible people deforesting the planet, and there's actually like a species attacking you or something. I know that's not possible because there's no combat stuff, but I want to be the bad guys just once. Just let me be bad once, and then we can apologize later after, you know, mass slaughter of all of these trees we thought were trees that are actually people or something. Let us be the bad guys. That's all I'm saying. Just let us have our flecks of being evil just once. But you know, I get what people are thinking. A lot of people are under the impression that this is it, though, that this is the moon, that's it, that's all they're getting. But you look at this, like, you look at that image, which is an official piece of artwork from Final Fantasy XIV, shown during the Chinese fan festival, where they've showcased other pictures we have seen since of cosmic exploration. And that piece of content right there is one of the worlds that we are going to, or a concept image of what to expect. And I can't look at that and go, wow, boring moon that looks the same. There's not even a shred of any of me, not even a percentage of my energy can go towards going, wow, that looks bad. It doesn't. Like, how does that look bad? I know it's a concept image, but the moon ones were also concepts too. See, that to me breathes the excitement and possibilities of exploring somewhere new. The moon doesn't, because it's the moon. You know, the Leporits have got that in check. It's the moon. It's still cool, but it's the moon. It's the first stage of 4. But something like this just goes, wow. Like, what is that? What are those, like, funnel-shaped trees? What are those spiky things? What kind of ores are rare, you know? But I suppose at the end of the day, if you look at something like that and you think, wow, it just looks like another boring moon, then I guess the content really isn't that exciting to you in the first place. That to me reminds me of No Man's Sky or something. It looks crazy. But yeah, that's my opinion. I find it very hard to believe that everything is going to look like the moon when we have concept art that is contrary to that. As to how diverse they are between them, no idea. I'd like to have like an ocean world, quite honestly. Or something. There was no response when I sent them my ad. Oh, your address? Oh, yeah, bump that, definitely. What if we're terraforming planets for the new housing mods? That'd be sick, yeah. Laser gun like Daredevil. Oh, yeah, we could have monsters. We could literally have monsters on these planets. Fran's correct. You can have crafting and gathering content with monsters because the Diadem did it. What if this planet that we go to, let's call it Planet Z, we land on Planet Z with this whatever, rocket or transversal apparatus, whatever we might get, teleporter, and we're like, and the Leporits are like investigating, and there are little beasties roaming around that are like, they're trying to, I don't know, maybe they're damaging the ecosystem or something, and we have to vaporize them with the ether-matic auger. And that would make it so that we had to involve some of the NPCs from the Diadem storyline that would bring over a new version of the ether-matic auger that would be augmented with Leporit engineering. I mean, that's basically an episode of Star Trek, isn't it? That's great. I like that. That's a great theory. I like that. I mean, it could be a planet that's so ether rich that it's a problem, you know? Time to repurpose the ether-matic auger and go on a genocide. That's all right. And then that's why we turn into the bad guys, and then we realize that the creatures are sentient, and then they're not just space sheep, and they're like, why did you kill our trees? Blah. And we're like, oh, I'm sorry, space sheep. I didn't know that these were living people as trees. And then we have to, I don't know, throw away the auger, but it's too late. Yeah, Avatar, basically, yeah. Pandora. Right, I'm going to go for a break, and then we'll finish off this weapon, and we'll remake macros. Be right back. Boop. Hello, I'm back. Sorry about that. Meoni, do we get the MGP bonus when using platinum cards? I don't remember. Genuinely don't remember. Sorry. Space sheep, yeah. Space mutton. Space mutton. In space, no one can hear you bleat. Oh, the game crashed. Cool. The game crashes are back. Why are the game crashes back? Why is it back? I fixed everything. It was going so well. I love how I come back from a break and then it just goes, you know what? No, Meoni. No. Let's get these tools done. The video game is having a fun time. The only thing that doesn't get a bonus is the catbot. Oh, right. So the bonus, the cards do. There we go. Confirmation. Thank you, chat. It's fine. It's not fine, but it's fine. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, yay. Log in already. The low pop server. Log in. Log in. Log in the game, please. I haven't got time for this. We have tools to make. Thank you. We're so close. Right, let's bash this one out. Okay, so we don't have time to start deleting macros because of that. So I feel like I'm waiting for the next crash to happen. So let's figure this out. So what are the rank 4 missions? So we got these here. So that's a 3, that's a 2. Okay, and that's a 1. So if we make all of these, we'll do the fine grade knives. Fine grade. Wait, what? Knife. That's because it's called a survey knife. Our stats. 5408. 5216. 630. This is where I went for a break. Yeah, it sucks, doesn't it? To be honest. D400, DU60, A rank. Second part. Okay, let's bash this out. Oh wait, hold on. That's not going to work, is it? Cancel macro. Okay. Oh, balls. Yeah, you're right. Well... Well... Always make a mistake. It might still work. It might do. It might do. You can cancel macros, yes. We learned this the other day. I didn't know this, so I'm not going to take credit for it. But on the keybind thing, if you go to... I forget where it is now. There we go. Cancel macro. It's under the system ones, look. Yeah. You can make a keybind. I did not know that existed. Chat told me about it the other stream, and I was like, what? It changes everything. It's so cool, isn't it? So cool. We need to do this one. Balls, I didn't remember what number it was. It's fine. We'll end up deleting these anyway. Just want to get... It's a race against time now, because if the game's getting more unstable, even after a fresh reinstall, and all of the other issues that I fixed, then I need to not dick around too much with deleting macros and naming conventions too much. Hopefully I can get this done. It's going to save so much bother in the future. It is good, isn't it? It's good. I'm glad you learnt from it as well, because I was just blown away. Yeah, I need to redo all the macros, but I need to delete the individual ones because they're the shared ones don't let me. So when you upload your character data, for example, if I wanted to go and do some grinding on the PS4 or well PS5 now, the shared tab doesn't upload for some reason, only in the individual tab of macros. So yeah, it's weird. So it's not like it's this tab I need to delete anyway. It's the other one. But I will delete every single one of them. Let me get my tool done, and then we'll worry about cleaning this process up. I don't think there's too much point in me caring at this point. We've got what, 2 ranks left to do? Might as well just scuff it and do what's necessary. Get the tool and then wrap it up. I do want to delete them all. And then I want to put like A1, A2, etc. as the naming convention. And then the durability and durability, the progress and durability. Don't care about the quality part, that doesn't matter. Yeah, that's the thing. I'd want to log out immediately if I set it all up. We could delete it right now. We could go through the process and then for the game to just randomly crash and delete any progress that I made and revert would be not good. I think it's general instability of the game though at this point, because I've fixed everything I physically can. So I'm not really sure what else I need to do. We're on the old graphics driver that everybody said is the most stable. Windows 11's fixed its issues. I've messed around with the undervolting to the point where it's stable again on the CPU. So, man. No idea. But at this point, I might just, like I say, I might just save up some money and get a new CPU, because I think it's probably CPU issues more than anything. Just seems to be the most incompatible rather piece of crap I've ever had on a PC. If you're on the fence of whether to go Intel or AMD, don't waste your time. Just go AMD. Just don't bother. Intel have lost the plot. They are just not worth it anymore. Especially if you play 14, it's just not worth your time. Look, there's the sequential mission that takes too much time for me to care about right now. Good for points, though. Oh, it's this one. Okay, cool. This we still have the original experimental craft that Macro made at the start of Cosmic, and it still works beautifully. So that's fine. We've got that one. What CPU? The 14900K. It's their 14th gen piece of absolute garbage that is unbelievably unreliable in nearly every application. It's incredibly unstable with 14. To the point where I had to use their Intel Extreme Tuning utility and drop it down to 55x performance core ratio, because 57 crashes it immediately. So, yeah. Don't bother. It's not worth. That could be the problem then, degradation. It's a fairly new PC. Like, I put it together and it had issues straight out the box. It's Intel not being able to make a competitive, working, stable platform for gaming. Compared to the 9800X3D I put in Fran's PC, which is, I mean, it's the most stable thing in the universe. It's crazy. Just works. I'm very jealous. I'm jealous of something I built for Fran. It's a better PC in every way. Apart from graphics card. She's still using my 2080 Ti, but it's incredibly optimized, so she gets real frames out of it. Like 200 plus frames out of it. It's great. Steal it. Nah, I'll just buy another one. At some point. I'll wait a couple of months and then I'll get one. But hey, if your tariffs keep up, then I won't be able to. So, yay! Because they're affecting everybody. Yes, it is the latest BIOS, yes. Which is slightly more stable. These are things that myself and my very incredibly nerdy friend James have sat down and gone through. We've troubleshooted for days, like actual days. And the conclusion is, it is complete and utter dog shit. It's good, don't get me wrong, it's a very powerful CPU, but it's just, doesn't use any of that power. It can't use any of that power. So many things just trip out when it tries to use that power. It's just not good for gaming. It's just awful. The entire reason I went Intel originally with the 14900K is because, well, A, we didn't have anything good before, which is why we made the upgrade with the new PC, but also Intel was supposed to be better in terms of benchmarking for 14 specifically. Yeah. Don't buy parts based on benchmarks. It does not help. It is the worst decision you can make. If there was a benchmark for stability, then that would be more useful. Oh, it outperforms the X3D. Yeah, but can you stay online? Can you play the game? Yeah, for like our benchmark testing period of like an hour. Cool. Right. Yeah, waste of time. Can you tell I'm really pissed off at Intel after being a bit of an Intel fanboy for many years? They really, really pissed me off. We're at the point of everything I purchase now is going to be Team Red. It's not even gonna be a question. Right, so we got a D. Wait, A. Whatever. Not you. You. No, not you either. Oh my god, dude. That's better. Indirect. Alloy. But as soon as I've saved up some money, I will consider switching. Christmas. It's probably going to be that long. That's fine. I was tempted to contact Gamers Nexus and send this 14th gen CPU to them because it is just an example of really shit silicon. It's just really bad. I think they'd have a great time testing it. $7,800 nice. Good choice. Jace 2 Cents had a video of a PC that had your problems and it wasn't that old and the CPU had degradation. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I suppose if that's what you mean by degradation. Yeah, it's very weird. It's very, very weird. Things are not built the way they used to be. That is very much a true statement once again. Could RMA it, yeah. I could. Would I want another one of them though? I think we're looking at what, 430, 440 pounds worth of CPU that we need to purchase. So that'll be fun. I think that's how much they're going for. Something like that. Oh yeah, it's this mission. CPU. Not GPU. Now the 40 series is great. Like, I've had no issues with my 4090. It's a god card, honestly. I love it. Absolutely love it. CPU, however, can definitely go away. Oh, come on, games. Stop giving me the same shit, please. Oh, this is the one that kind of failed. Right, cool. Let's do that again. Only less failure this time. Work on your tools, you slacker. Fran has no interest in tools. What do you want about? Fran, tools? It would be a cold, long day in hell before Fran decides to do everything to level 100 on her crafters and gatherers. I can assure you. And that's fine. Yeah, she's got addicted to Infinity Nikki again because they added like a multiplayer to it. She was telling me all about it. She was like, but you should play it. I'm like, but I shouldn't play it though. I've got enough things on my plate right now. But then we could play the game together. I'm like, but I don't want to right now. I want to play the Final Fantasy game. She doesn't need to. She's got you to make her stuff. I'm not doing her tools for her. See, there's two very good ways I can defend against having to do that. One, account sharing is prohibited in the terms of service, so I could shove that in her face. And second of all, she'd have to drag me to do that. I'm not doing the tools again. Not on another account anyway. I do want to do a tool on a low level character though, for a test. What happened with the co-op Nikki stuff? Any crafted stuff they bring out? Oh yeah, guaranteed, yeah. I mean, that's a given, you know. When you play Final Fantasy XIV with your in real life partner, the first thing you have to understand is that where possible, it is always a nice gesture, at the very least, for you to get two of everything. Now, Friend's pretty good about it. I'm not going to say she isn't, but you do end up leaning towards going, I need to get two of these, need to get two of that. Not that I'm complaining, I'm just saying. It's something I'm well aware of. This is the 461. That's the one. Survey knives. We're nearly done. Nearly done. Wow. Cool. Poorly implemented. Metric. Ton of bugs. The multiplayer area is pretty, but not a lot to do there. Really? Yeah, but you see I can't though, because, you know, account sharing and all that, so... If Fran wants all of the tools, then Fran has to play the video game. But I don't think Fran wants all the tools, so I'm good. I'm happy. She's busy anyway. She likes playing other games. She's not crazy like me that spends every living moment progressing a Final Fantasy XIV character for no reason. Yeah, well, I've been leveling my stuff to level 100 in here, and it's... Well, you've seen how torturous it is in here, actually. If anybody is on the fence of whether they should level through Cosmic, don't. Just don't. Save yourself some time. Do it somewhere else. Anywhere else. Anywhere. Do your custom deliveries each week. Passively level them. Wait for 7.25. Do the new tribe allied society quest. Sorry, I slipped up again. And then yeah, do that. Meanwhile, you're grinding crafting points. I would love to do that, but I've got to get this done. And then once all of the tools are done, we'll redo it all, and then I'll grind for points. There will be point grinding streams where we focus on one, but not for much longer though, because we've got Shades Triangle coming out soon. So maybe some of this week we'll do some point grinding, see how far we can get, and then next week we are not going to be on the moon for a good amount of time. Or at least I won't be on the moon for a good amount of time. You CBA, I've done minor, slowly doing botanist. I'll stick to one minor and finish. So I mean, there is also the fact that there's like 4 planetoids, planet-sized objects, as I'm going to call it, that we visit. Moons or planets. Places. So you don't have to bust your balls out on the first one. You can, you know, do it over time. Your brother plays, and if there's something from crafting you wants, I get a tell to see if I can make it. That's awesome. That's pretty cool. You are the pocket crafter. I used to be the pocket healer, but no more. My healing days are gone. I'm a DPS whore these days. That's all I care about. Used to heal for every single group through World of Warcraft and this game. Because it was always required. There was always missing healers. And finally I broke away from it. That feels so good. Bum, bada bum, bada ba bum, bum. It literally is just Goldsmith 4 now. Nice. I think there should be a meta achievement for getting them all done. That'd be nice. Hopefully they add something like that in the future. He was a fire mage in WoW, so when I started this, I went black mage to watch the world burn. Yeah, poor black mage. Definitely had some changes. You find DPS more stressful than healing? Oh, opposite. Healing is too easy. Well, yeah, you're probably right, actually. Healing to me is a little bit too easy. But that's probably because I've been doing it for too long. Whereas DPS has been like quite a challenge. I think that's really where my perspective comes from. So it doesn't really come across stressful per se, because it's kind of like a process of trying to get good at something. I don't stress around it, but at the same time, we've stopped raiding now, so I don't have to stress at all. I get to play the game whenever I want to, and do streams whenever I want to, and make videos whenever I want to, and I feel 10 times better for it. I tried so hard to make that static experience work in my sort of attendance and performance, and at the end of the day, it just wasn't enough. The attendance issues that the group had was ridiculous, so I'm actually very happy that we decided to quit the tier, and now I'm just going to wait for the future and do raiding at some other point. And that's it. That is another complete... That's the final tool. Holy crap, dude. And it only took me 3 hours of stream. And I had a break as well. Wow. Boom. Done. Hey, when did he get a full-on building instead of a crappy kiosk? With the level 10 development log. With this one, I'll show you. Ba-ba-bum, ba-da-ba-bum. It's over! My tool grind is done! I'm free! I'm free of the moon! By choice, I will still be here, but I could be free of the moon if I wish to. And go back to raiding now? No. No, I'm good. I don't want to raid. Or if I do want to raid, it will not be with the same group. I want a new group with new people and more attendance effort placed into it. So it's probably not going to happen on Chaos Data Center, honestly. We're a bit screwed. Ooh, wow. No, let's do some spins. Let's do some spinny spins. Holy moly. I'd like to say it's been an uneventful day, but we've crashed twice, so... Oof. And this was supposed to be completed yesterday, but here we are. Let's see if we can get another mount for no reason. Spin. I mean, that's a very funny looking mount, but okay. Spin. You raid lead a friend and family group, it's pain? Yeah, that sounds... The friend part, yeah, I can understand. The family part, I would end up losing contact with members of my family if I did that. If they played games in the first place. Which they don't, thankfully. Well, not good games. Let's put it that way. The sub is free? No, there is no free sub. The return campaign ended as well. Come on, give me at least something on the spin. That sounds like a positive outcome. I guess. How did it? Why you skip? Why you do this? I want to land on the star. Let's see. Let's go for the ruby red die. Yeah, the cordials every time. There's nothing I can use ordinary cordials on. I have no use for them. They're trash. What is this? A Leporosol and a cordial. I'm kind of tempted to go for that one just to see if it's a cordial. Let's do it. I want to see how badly the game screws you when you have a 50-50% chance. What should be the cordial? There's no way it's going to be the parasol. That's so bad. That is such... Oh, that is... Oh. All there are words for that. It's bait. It's going to give us the cordial or the prisms. There's no way we're getting the green dye. Prisms? Yeah. You can just smell when the game is lying to you these days. Like you can smell its essence. Know exactly what it's going to do. Spring Meadow Partition's very likely, but the materia. It could be the materia. Yeah. Yeah, figures. Cool. Thanks, Orbiting Way. We built you a new house, you person. Dick. What a dick. Absolute dick. All right, let's have a look at this tool then. Oh. Let's not look at this tool then. Sure, an Atma stage. That's fine. God, it's tiny. Wow. No, I don't like that. Is that content for crafting decent? Depending on who you talk to, you're going to get a different response. If I say it's cool, other people will say no, it's not cool. So no one can really tell you what you enjoy. So I enjoy it, but you might not. I don't know. It's such a small hammer for goldsmithing. That's crazy. At least it doesn't have like the weird red switch on it this time. Like the turbo hammer mode. Well, that's a tool. It's got weird like wires on it and stuff. Interesting. Can't wait to see what happens with the future versions of this when they get glowy and stuff. That's gonna be cool. See how much more neon and crazy it gets. Did they add new rewards from completion? What's that? Completion of the tools? Yeah, it's basically Ishgard Restoration, just you don't have to... But you get your own... let's, for example, say we went to do this mission. To make a knife, yeah? So it's an expert recipe. But if you go into the Stellar Missions thing and click on here, look, they give you the materials to craft with, and anything you craft goes in here as well. So it's not clogging up your already full inventory like mine. And the same applies for bait as well. For example, if we did fishing and we just started any old mission, you'll notice that yes, we have the bait, but the bait is not stored in the inventory, it's stored in its own pocket. And there are those missions that require multiple different baits and things, and the fish get placed in here as well. So it's something I hope that they bake into the rest of the game at some point. That would make me happy. Right, well, why is my glamour broken? That's better. That is, as they say that, for Cosmic Tools. So we've got some achievement points. We leveled up everything to 100 in this content, which is cool. Got that done. I have some feelings about it, but I think I need to write those down and then put up a proper video talking about them. There are definitely strengths and weaknesses of this content, and I think that many of the weaknesses could be overcome by future iterations. Yeah. Until the next time there's more tools to do. Of course, we do have a lot of points to work on. I'd like to have my own little set goals for this. I want to get them all to 50k first. I think that's my first goal. And we'll probably work on the gatherers first. And then the crafters secondary. And then try and bump that to 100k, etc. But as to when I'm going to be able to do that, I have no idea, because Shades Triangle comes out on the 27th, right? And that's not long. You know, we don't have long to go. I didn't mean to press that. I meant to press that. No. It's what? The 19th? So next Tuesday? Not this Tuesday, so not tomorrow, but the week after. So a week tomorrow, we have some combat-related content to do. So, yeah, going to be busy. Right, I'm going to wrap up there. I know it's been a short stream. It's not been without its technical issues. I'm going to see if I can figure out some of those issues. But also, I need to go make some video stuff. So, hate to cut it short, but thank you for watching. I should be back tomorrow with another stream. We'll probably end up doing some point grinding, and I'll try and make it a longer stream. I just wanted to get the last tool done today, since we didn't get to do it yesterday. And yeah, we'll go from there. And then when we do Shades Triangle, there'll be a lot of streams, because the videos that I would make of the content that we would unlock, or the mounts, minions, hairstyles, emotes, that sort of stuff, would require me to do the content first. So I think on release, I'll probably be streaming it. sometime very early afternoon, like middle of the day onwards, and we'll probably no-life the crap out of it. So just so you know, that's the plan for next week. But I'll be back tomorrow. Anyway, much love. Enjoy the rest of your evening time zones. Hopefully you're not cooking in your office like I am right now, because it's uncharacteristically warm for 10 past 9 at night. And I'll see you all next time. Twitch, we'll find someone to raid, and YouTube, good night. Bye-bye. Feels good to have the tools done, though. Oh, accomplishment, finally.